Hello jammy gamers and ghosts out there, welcome to another Breakpoint video. So this is going to be another tips video, this one looking at more intermediate tips. 25 of them and a couple of others here and there sprinkled in. We'll run through those bit by bit, maybe a bit more pace than the last one, we'll wait and see. There's a good handful, let us know if I've missed anything out. There is going to be more of an expert type level coming up, and we're going to go through them all in a big masterclass at the very end. That means there'll be 4 of these types of videos all in all, so make sure you like, subscribe, all that sort of good stuff, and let's jump into number 1. Now, number 1, yeah, it's a little bit cheaty, but I'm going to say it again, say it like the last one, I'm going to say it in the next one as well, you know. It's a great game now. So Breakpoint had pretty bad press when it released. People weren't happy with it. Maybe they were just a little bit bitter that they tried to move to an RPG. Maybe they didn't like that they didn't have AI companions at release. Maybe Ubisoft hurt their feelings. But now, it's a brilliant game. If you haven't got it and you're watching this out of curiosity, give it a go. Wait for it maybe to come up on sale if you're a little bit unsure. But give it a go. It's a great game. And now, let's get into it in number 2. So for this tip, we're going to have a look at the Behemoths, and they are very daunting early game, right? And they're still a right challenge all the way through your playthrough. Let alone if you're whacking that difficulty up and reducing your HUD to make it more immersive, they're hard. But a nice easy way to get the treasures that they're holding, just don't fight them. You can parachute in and steal all the goodies. Once you've got them, it doesn't matter if you die and respawn far away, because you've got them. So that's one option. Otherwise, you can use the Panther Spray. You can use the Panther Spray or use it on the way out. And you can run past the Behemoths relatively easy. I seem to get a little bit spotted there, but that's a good way around the Behemoths, or just struggle through using explosive after explosive, shooting from range, avoiding the mortars. It's up to you. Tip number 3 then, use tall grass and bushes instead of prone camo where you can. Now pro camo is a new feature when you come from Wildlands to Breakpoint. It's fantastic for when drones and helicopters and even patrol cars are coming by. Really good, makes you practically invisible unless you're on top of you. But bushes provide a 360 type of view. Now we saw before there the field of view was limited in terms of aiming. Aiming in a bush or tall grass, 360, absolutely no limitations, but it gives you the same cover as long as you're absolutely submerged in that bush. Tip number 4 is that snipers are usually lonely. Aww, I know. But it makes it really easy to take them out, which then quite nicely leads us on to number 5. Use your thermal vision to take out snipers with a little bit more ease, as I do at the end here. Bang! Really quick and easy. Actually, barrels can blow up like most shooter games, so maybe use them wisely, or maybe plant C4 or mines next to it to extend your explosions. Number 7 is really important, maybe a little bit cheaty, it's up to you how you want to use it, but actually at the top of the objectives board there we can see the weapons and the attachments. This page can tell you exactly where to find it in terms of the province. Much like Wildlands where you could tell where the province was, you need to go into that province, find the intel and then go grab the items. It's far quicker than just hunting randomly. It tells you a good variety actually that are available in the shop, whether that's in Erewhon or whether you turn on the setting to have a look in your bivouac. We mentioned the store there just very briefly, but here is tip number 8, and that's going to be to buy as much of the stuff you need in terms of your gear and equipment rather than crafting it. It's slightly different. I know I showed it last time in the beginner's tip to make sure you buy stuff, but actually buying over crafting is going to be better. You can also sell some of your equipment, your gear, and also the consumable little bits and bobs and ingredients you pick up for very small amounts of scale credits, so don't put too much value into it, but you can in a pinch to get some last minute deals. You've also got a whole bunch of weapon blueprints here, whether they be good, bad, or ugly. As well as weapon attachments, cosmetics, consumables, whatever you want. There's loads of stuff at the store. Again, turn on the bivouac setting to get access to it on the fly, or otherwise it's just Erewhon. But let's have a look at the vehicles for tip number 9. Number 9 is that the Blacklist Mark II helicopter glues itself onto the side of hills and mountains, things like that. Now, a lot of choppers are going to slide down, but the Blacklist just, yeah, like I say, seems to glue itself to it, and it just makes it quite convenient just to whack it down wherever you need it to be. So here on crafting for number 10, make sure you are crafting. If you're in a pinch or you're out in the wild and you're about to hit a base, make sure you craft up. You can also craft up these special short-term buff cakes as well. Crafting menu is done simply by adding the ingredients you've found around the world and then crafting it with the big red button on the side there. You can do exactly the same, like I say, with these consumables, these edibles, to help give you short-term buffs. And once you've bought or crafted everything you're going to need for your next encounter, make sure you've got what you need equipped. Have a little scout with your drone, with your binocs, which you're going to go over in a minute, and equipped what's relevant. Are you going to be going in? Do you need to lay mines on roads? Do you need EMPs? Do you need flashbangs? That sort of thing. Next up are the 5 Ps. Now, depending on, your background, you can add a few Ps here and there, but proper preparation prevents poor performance. 5 Ps. You can do this with your drone, with your binocs, with your team, your squad mates if you're playing on co-op, and call out where the enemy are. But properly preparing how you go into an assault and systematically take out the enemies is going to really set you up for success. With the drones here, you can see that you can zoom in, you can see that you can go thermal, you can see that you can go night vision, and you can really identify the enemies and plan a route. Have a look at the enemy patrol routes. Have a look if they're in pairs. Have a look if it's weighted on a certain side of the base and if there are different entry levels. Because if you can, there might be an easier way to attack, particularly these wolf bases. They can be a pain, and the wolves can be really punishing if you get it wrong. And for number 13, whilst you're using the drone to scout your environment, use the drone, use the night vision, use the thermal, things like that. Yes, you can identify baddies, but in particular, you want to identify the radio operators. You want to take them out early, because if you take them out, they act like the sirens in Wildlands. If you take them out, they won't be able to call in reinforcements. But also, you can actually see where the boxes are, the loot. So that's quite a handy little tip, trick, mechanic to take advantage of. Next up, like Wildlands, like most shooters, single fire can be your friend. So for accuracy, for the sake of not missing any shots and then revealing yourself to the surrounding baddies, single fire or manual single fire, however you want to do it, is going to be your friend in helping to ensure that accuracy. Even a burst fire, a manual burst fire of rounds, that odd shot, that odd stray bullet can just cause a whole world of pain to come tumbling down on top of you. For 16, we've got the locked doors. So if you come across locked doors, they'll be a focus point for you. You've got to drag a body, carry a body, hold a body up at gunpoint, an enemy, and walk him up to the door. Alive or dead, doesn't really matter. You can't do this with heavies. It needs to be one of these lighter chaps you can lug around or move around a bit more freely. You got some goodies inside. Very rarely are there going to be missions locked behind there, though. Another quickie for 17. Don't always rely on your AI teammates. If you've got them turned on, they're not that great still. They can be amazing in some situations, like this one. They just didn't want to shoot that guy. Thanks, mate. Cheers. Coming up next then, we've got the online capabilities of Ghost Recon Breakpoint. At the top, we've got our PvP Ghost War mode. You've got a bunch of in-house missions here as well that give you extra skill points, other consumables, cosmetics, that sort of good stuff. It's good to have a little look around, a little play around with it. You've also got raids as online capability, so similar to things like The Division, but you are going to need, for both of these elements, a gear score to be turned on. Now, min-maxing your raid loadout, there's not any videos that I've done on this, but you can look them up online, and there can be a little bit of a grind, a little bit of a pain to get exactly what you want, or exactly what the community or video suggests you do, but the menus here, and the little help guides, little tutorial clips are quite helpful, so give them a go, have them a play around. I need to have a play around with it yet and actually dive in, but hey, maybe see you on there, ghosts. Weapon masteries you unlock later on in the game. You need to have all of the perks, consumables, all that sort of skill things unlocked, as well as base 4 classes. Then you can pump points into different weapon classes, max of 3, to get extra weapon buffs. You can get skill points late game with these 4 ways on the screen here. But the next tip would be to read the classes carefully, see what one suits you and suits your playstyle to test out first, or second, or third. And then read the skills and perks and go down the trees that again suit your playstyle first. It's the best and most efficient use of your points when you're building up your character from the early inset. Now don't worry, you will have plenty of points to unlock everything. That shouldn't be a concern. And you know what? Using the 5 Ps to unlock things the most efficient way maybe shouldn't be your concern either. Whatever's fun for you is the best way to play the game. So unlock it however you want to unlock it. Okay? You know, skills like the next tip, the parachute, are really quite effective early unlocks. And let's have a look why. The parachute specifically can be used for base jumping like we're just seeing here to really cover the travel distance a hell of a lot quicker, even quicker than using the bivouac and the garages to spawn a vehicle and then travel to your destination. Parachuting in can be really quite an effective way of doing things, and you know, jumping out of helicopters can also be a speedy way of getting from A to B. At 23 and 24, we're going to fly through the video clip at super speed, but in short, number 23 is going to be making sure you use close quarter combat, CQC, wherever possible. It gives you or provides 100% stealth. It makes it super quiet. What's annoying is that the animation takes a little bit of time, so you can't just go up and whack loads of people really quickly. You got to pre-plan your assaults. 24 would be to make sure that you're using your equipment like the bullet casings and things to lure enemies into a more favorable position for you to attack them. To make sure that you're eliminating them out of sight of their friends, making sure that you can use your prone camo to make and get in really nice and close to take them out. But then thinking about other engagements as well, where you need to use, or rather should use, your equipment like flashbangs to give yourself a bit more time to take them out methodically, or grenades to blow up vehicles, or to destroy large groups of enemies in an instant. You know, there's other ways of using equipment to high effect to get the best result possible and stop yourself getting killed. Then finally, tip 25, it's to C4 generators. Now you can just turn them off during the day, that's going to be fine, they're not going to have power at night time, but if you blow them up, ideally at night time, it's far more effective. Then what they'll do, the enemies within a certain radius are going to come and investigate where the explosion was, yes, but also they're hard-coded to come and investigate the generator blowing up. They don't know why it's gone, all their lights and power have gone out, they're going to want to come and investigate the generator. Now, blowing up the generator has multiple benefits. We'll cover off the smaller details in the next video. However, luring the enemies into more of a kill zone is a great thing to do, and it's a great superpower to have, if you want to call it, and look at it that way. Just be careful, the wolves are just really tricky. It's far more effective at night time, like I say, but it's a good mechanic to be aware of and to take advantage of. So have at it, ghosts. But that's it for this one. Let us know if there's anything that we missed. There is going to be a pro video coming out, so it could be that they're coming along in the next one. But hope you enjoyed the step up from beginners tips to intermediate tips. We've got some pro tips coming up, some of the more niche, more detailed, more tricky tips coming up in the coming weeks. So let us know if there's anything that you really want to have in that video, and we'll get it in there for you. Let us know if there's anything in particular you want to see other than tips videos on Breakpoint or Wildlands, and we'll see what we can do as well. But thanks very much, guys. Like, subscribe, all that sort of good stuff, and we'll see you on the next one. JJAM Gaming out.